What is coral bleaching? When corals are stressed by changes in conditions such as temperature, light, or nutrients, they expel the symbolic algae living in their tissues, causing them to turn completely white. Warmer water temperatures can result in coral bleaching. Not all bleaching events are due to warm water, but corals are now in danger. Rising ocean temperatures have caused mass coral bleaching in coral reefs around the world, in every tropical ocean from the Caribbean to the South Pacific. This is now considered to be the biggest threat that coral reefs face, and they face many, including overfishing, pollution, storm damage, and invasive species. Like coral across the world, the reef has been severely damaged by the warming of the oceans, with up to 95% of areas surveyed in 2016 found to have been bleached. If these problems continue, to 2065 the coral reefs would only be a white substance in the middle of nowhere. The climates will be different. Definitely the coral reefs will be bleached in its totality. Let's talk about the events on the present days. Since 2016, half of all the coral in the Great Barrier Reef has died. All of this recently happened, more or less, off the east coast of Australia. The Great Barrier, which at 1,400 miles long, is the longest and largest coral reef in the world, was blanketed by dangerously hot water in the summer of 2016. This heat strangled and starved the corals, causing what has been called an unprecedented bleaching event. After inspecting every one of its reefs and surveying them on almost species by species basis, the paper reports that vast swaths of the Great Barrier Reef were permanently transformed in the summer of 2016. The reef's northern third, previously its most pristine section, lost more than half of its corals. Two of its most recognizable creatures, the amber-colored Stockholm corals and the flat, fan-like tabular corals, suffered the worst casualties.
Yet, it was not the end of the troubles for the Great Barrier Reef. In the summer of 2017, warm waters again struck the reef and triggered another bleaching event. This time, the heat hit the reef's middle third. In the summer of 2015, more than 2 million corals live in Great Barrier Reef. Half of them are now dead. Coral reef habitats represent some of the densest and most varied ecosystems on Earth. They cover only 0.2% of the ocean's floor. Scientists estimate that nearly 1 million species of fish, invertebrates, and algae can be found in around the world's reef. While reef habitat appear to be robust enough to withstand almost anything, they are extremely fragile. Not only are most corals brittle, they usually need pristine, clear, warm, relatively nutrient-free water to survive. The coral will extinct at 2057. For marine biologists, the destruction of the reefs has proven to be as frustrating as it heartbreaking. Because reef habitats are so complex and because worldwide reef monitoring and mapping efforts only began a little over a decade ago, scientists simply do not have enough information to keep tabs on the destruction of the reefs. Scientists speculate that in 2047 hundreds of marine species will be extincted because of coral bleaching. And they also speculate that there may be hundreds of thousands of species of reef-dwelling animals that have not even been categorized yet. Scientists explain that corals evolve in warm, clean, still waters with stable levels of sunlight and salinity. In order for the corals to survive, this water must remain pristine and relatively undisturbed.